Good evening, good evening, good evening, my wonderful, beautiful YouTube friends. Hello! It is awesome to see you. I am super excited to be here tonight. Some crazy stuff happened today. I somehow managed to break the 10K mark on YouTube, which is unbelievable. It is so unbelievably humbling, and it's just an absolute blessing. So I just want to take a moment and thank every single person that has ever, watched my content or thought enough of me to actually click that subscribe button. It means a whole heck of a lot to me. It really does. As you know, I talk about live streaming on this live stream. I answer live streaming questions, and I can also get into some YouTube growth pieces if you would like. So I can definitely do that. I might actually talk a little bit about some other stuff tonight too as well, but I just want to say hello to, oh my goodness, my brother's on here, Sean. Hello. Well, thank you, Sean. I appreciate that. I do appreciate it. Michael T. Tech Examine is in the house. Oh, let's see. I see Custom Wood Designs. Waymew, I believe that's who that is. Waymew, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Karen Summers, longtime friend of the channel. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Oh my goodness. And let's see. What's that? Drutgat? Drutgat 2. Drutgat, am I saying that right? I think I'm saying that right. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Living the Life Show. Awesome. Living the Life. Wait. The Living the Life Show. Okay, the Living the Life Show. Hello. It's so cool to watch you grow rapidly. It has been pretty incredible stuff. Hughes Events. Hello. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Pauline Newman is in the house as well. Hello, Pauline, the YouTube angel, in the house. So if anyone has any live streaming questions tonight, you can @ the amazing and fantastic Monica. And she will definitely put the question in the queue. I will get to every single one of those questions because that's what I do. I love to do that. Monte Weaver, well, thank you so much. I appreciate that. I do. You guys have no idea. So where's everybody from? I know Pauline is down in the great state of Florida. Astro Parchy, hello. Thank you so much. And I know Michael T is not too far from me, about 45 minutes to an hour or so. But where is everyone else? Where is everyone else from? I'd really love to know. I'm still trying to make the difficult choice between getting a new computer and using OBS from my upcoming co-hosted remote video podcast, or going with a less flexible option like Streamyard. All right, so getting a new computer and using it. So I'm assuming, man, Drutgat. I'm gonna probably say that wrong all night. It's very difficult. Hello, Drutgat from Toronto. And Karen, that's right, she's from the Netherlands. I knew that. I don't know why I didn't say that either. It's 2 a.m. Ireland. Hughes Events is in Ireland. My goodness. We've got the overseas contingency definitely hanging out here. Milwaukee. Well, Jim, hello. Welcome, welcome. So, Drutgat, it really depends on what your long-term live streaming goals are. If your long-term live streaming goals are, are to produce regular live streaming content, like one live stream a week or something like that, then you're going to have so much more flexibility with getting a machine and using OBS to do your live streams. But I will say this. There are certainly a whole heck of a lot of benefits to using a product like Restream.io. It just makes it so much simpler. It takes all of the processing off of your computer and onto another one. As you can see, Restream.io. I really do love those guys. So it really does depend, honestly, on your goals. I could easily do this live stream with something like Restream.io, but I wouldn't be able to demo all this silly overlay stuff and everything else. And for me, as a person who runs a business based on live streaming and YouTube growth, for me, this overlay is more like a tech demo so that folks can see what's possible to do with an overlay. And I could get away without using it at all, but I really enjoy doing it. It's fun. People always ask questions about how something is done. So it honestly, Drudcat, it really does depend on what your long-term live streaming goals are. My personal goal, mine, hello. He's from Ontario, Canada. Awesome, awesome. Cody Cat, greetings from Toronto. All of our Canadian brothers and sisters are here. And my brother is actually here. Sean is my brother. He's from Brianingsville. Not too terribly far from where I'm at. Oh man, you guys are just incredible. So I want to take a minute to talk about my journey to 10,000 subscribers. For anyone who's been a long-term viewer of my channel, they're gonna know that I went through, you know, a process before I finally decided what sort of content I wanted to do and what audience I truly wanted to serve. JB Rants, hello. And you know, that took almost 2 years for me to get to the point where I started to actually look at my analytics and figure things out. And that's when I kind of decided. And from that point on, it took me about 6 or 8 months, probably maybe closer to 8 months, to clear out all the subscribers who were no longer interested in the content that I was doing. So I basically was stuck at 1,200 subscribers for like 8 to 10 months. And it felt really, really horrible. It felt like I wasn't growing. It felt like I wasn't going anywhere. But steadily and constantly over that 8 months, I never lost subscribers or didn't feel like I was. And my views steadily started to kind of go up. And here's the thing. It takes YouTube, first of all, if your viewers are there and they're not specifically interested in your content, it's very difficult for YouTube to determine who your audience is. So I had a mishmash of audience from lots of different things because I was doing outdoor content and I was doing comedy content and I was doing motivational content, and then I was live streaming every day, so I had all of these different audiences, and it took the time for me to just kind of figure out exactly who I wanted to be talking to and what audience I wanted to be serving. And once I did that, well, after about 800 subscribers got purged from my account due to over a 6 or 8 month period, those folks just deciding they weren't interested in my content, it felt like I wasn't growing, but really those 800 subscribers were just replaced by other folks. And then one day it just happened. One day one of these older videos got picked up by YouTube, and next thing you know, I've got 3 or 4 or 5 going. And the one honest to goodness key that I would give any person who is looking to understand how explosive growth happens on YouTube. And for those of you who don't know, 4 months ago, I had 1,200 subscribers. Explosive growth happens on YouTube when you do content for a specific audience over a period of time, and YouTube figures out who that audience is as it slowly grows. And then it happens. It happens. If you do all the right things, when the growth happens, it really does happen. But I had to learn the hard way that shaking hands and kissing babies and stuff was not how you grow explosively on YouTube. And almost all new YouTubers start out doing it the exact same way. So sometimes it's just a matter of the learning process. Now you guys kind of have a little bit of an understanding of where I came from and how I came up in YouTube. If you're struggling to find your niche, your path, don't give up. Don't give up. It just takes time. It takes time. I saw Roberto Blake put out a tweet the other day that said that Mr. Beast had, I believe, 400 subscribers after his first 200 videos. And then he had about 10,000 subscribers after his first 400 videos. Now think about that. 200 videos, 400 videos. I have about 400 videos on my channel. None of them, probably about 70% of those videos are no longer listed, but 10,000 subscribers after about 400 videos. You just have to understand that it takes a lot longer than you think it's going to take to learn the ropes. And there's one person that I absolutely have to take a moment and thank. And that's this person right here. I'm going to turn her microphone off for a second. because otherwise we get an echo. This person right over here, the beautiful, wonderful person at the Monica question cam, has been absolutely unbelievably supportive. She never had a doubt. She never gave up on me. She always encouraged me, and there's no way that I could possibly thank her enough for the amazing contribution that she has, you know, given me to allow me to try to live my dream. It's been amazing. Now I'm gonna back up, turn mine down, and I also want to make sure that I say thank you to Jay Littman, Michael T. Panetta, and the fantastic Joe, who have been in my ear every single day, encouraging me and helping me to get to where I need to be. So thank you guys. Jelly Duck, hello, 10K. Can you believe it, my brother? Thank you so much. So I want to go over to the amazing and fantastic sandwich maker Monica and see what we've got going as far as questions go after I just, you know, went on for too long. But I just want to make sure that you guys know that anyone can do this, and believe in yourself, and thank you. Thank you so much. Here we go. Let's go see what Monica has to say.
Hello everybody. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. There is a comment from your brother. He says, congrats on 10,000. By the way, Taylor Swift dropped a new album. So excited.
Oh, wow. That's, there you go.
Okay, Drudgat. Yes, apologies. He did respond sort of to the comment that you had from him. He said, you're producing long-term content is my plan, and I do not like the disadvantages of Streamyard, only 720p and no plan to change that apparently, and limited display options. I'm waiting to see what Squadcast will offer in August when they introduce video streaming in addition to their Audition. Does that make sense?
Before you go, Drut G, I just want to let you know that Restream.io will absolutely be providing you an ability to stream in 1920 by 1080. It's coming very, very, very soon. I'm so excited. Those guys are working mega hard to make sure that they're providing all of the things that you could possibly want. So just keep an eye out. Thank you, Karen. It's been awesome. I know it's late there, but thank you so much for taking the time to stop by. I really do appreciate it. I really do. Behind the scenes, hello, Monica question cam. She's so much better than my wife. Well, you know what? And she's absolutely the most amazing sandwich maker on earth. Let's go to her right now and see if we have another question.
Oh, no. Right now, there are no questions in queue. Everybody's just having fun chatting and congratulating you on your 10K.
Oh, man. They're gonna make me work for it tonight, because you know what? I don't have a whole heck of a lot to say. Is there something you guys would like me to show you how to do then, if there's no live streaming questions? Would be more than happy to walk you through a process to set up something having to do with live streaming if you are interested. If not, then I would be more than happy to going back and watching some Christmas in July on the Hallmark channel with my beautiful sandwich maker. So please do hop in the chat and ask your questions. I would really love to hear them. And you know what? I live for this. I live for you to stump me. I live for you to stump me on those questions. But there's nothing coming in, is there, honey?
No, maybe we should ask if they think green is a good color for you.
Oh boy. So Monica wants to know whether you guys think that green is a good color for my Mustang, because I'd really like to get it wrapped in the same green as the helmets on the New York Jets. I am an Eagles fan, and I apologize, but the helmet of the New York Jets team, that green is fantastic. So I want to get my Mustang with that green and the white stripes. I just think it'd be freaking epic. Monica wants to nix the stripes, by the way. Tech for your needs, hello. Living the Show has a question. Shall we go to the Monica question cam, or should I just answer it? She's drinking.
I'm drinking.
She's drinking.
Water.
She's just hydrating. Okay, it's gonna be all right. I'll do it then. My Logitech 930E was out of sync when I tried to record in OBS. It was out of sync when I did a Zoom interview as well. Can you help me? Living the Life Show. I think I can help you. Let's pop over here to the tutorial. The first thing I want to show you is what you need to do to figure out what exactly is causing your out of sync problem. if you're not using the microphone on your Logitech, which I suspect you may not want to be using the microphone on your Logitech, and you're using a USB, there's always a chance that your stuff is going to be out of sync. So let me move my thingy out of the way here a little bit. And what I'll do is, if you add a camera here, like let's see, I'll add my, let's see, I don't know if this is going to mess things up because I moved my USB stuff around this week, so this will be an adventure. The Monica question cam might be messy after this, but we'll see. All right, so I'm putting this in there, and I'm going to customize it. We'll go with 1920 by 1080, and what you got to do is make sure you get your microphone down here. If I go to audio capture, or not audio, that's not what I want. Use custom audio device, and I want to make sure that I select the correct device. Now, general webcam actually is the camera's microphone, but I would never use that. I want to use a quality microphone, so I'm going to use this one right here. And you might notice that the audio might not be synced, and you can't actually hear it. You're just going to see the mix on the screen. But let me show you how you would be able to see what's causing it if it was out of sync. If you go to View, you go to Docs, and go to Stats. You got this stat up here, and this is going to show you first missed frames due to render lag, skipped frames due to encoding lag. If you're getting a lot of that when you're doing audio or when you're moving around on the screen, chances are that means your machine cannot handle having Zoom opened and OBS open and all those things at the same time, so you're getting laggy audio. If you're not getting a lot of missed frames or lagged frames up here, then one of the easiest ways to fix that problem is to right click on here and go to advanced audio properties in your microphone and set your sync offset. So what this does is it adjusts your voice by the milliseconds, and this is especially easy when you're doing recording. If you're going to record, I wouldn't worry about there being a lag. Just separate the audio and video, move the video so it lines up with your face, and you're good to go. Just make sure you put cues in there like clapping so you can line that audio up. But for a live stream, you obviously can't do that. So you can adjust the offset here. Now, if it so happens that your video is before your audio, what you can do is you can go and right click on video capture device, go to filters, and then you can go right here and you can adjust your video delay right here. So if your video goes and then your audio is going, well, you can adjust it so that your audio will be delayed just a little bit to sync up with your voice. So those are the two things that you can do to sync up your audio, but also how to determine what's causing it. And usually there is a underlying cause, like the computer can't handle 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 things at once. So I know a lot of people are wondering how I can manage to run 3 cameras off of this setup. It's a good setup. That's the bottom line. I have a pretty good video card in here and a lot of RAM. So you could probably buy this setup right now, because I built this machine in 2013. You can probably buy this setup for 800 bucks maybe. So you don't have to spend a buttload of money to get a PC that's going, or to get any machine, but mostly a PC that's gonna work for you for sure. You can do it. Let's go to the Monica question cam, see if we've got anything else. But first, I want to say hello to Behind the Scenes in the Woods with Wolfie. It has been a minute. Thank you so much. Rage and the Worst, my first ever on-screen interview. The Rage and the Worst. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. That dude has totally rocketed up from his lowly start to well over 15,000, I do believe, at the moment. He's found his stride, and that's so awesome. I'm really proud of him. So thank you so much, man. TS7 Gaming, hello. It is awesome to see you. Captain EJ, hello. The Living the Life show. Eventually, I'm going to get that right. The American Wander, hello. Awesome. My favorite color is hunter green, so yes, do it. I hear you. See, Tech for Your Needs is right. He's right there with me. All right, and Astroparchy, I do believe I said hello. So let's go to the Monica question cam and see what we got.
We are getting some questions now. We do have one from Jim Morales. He says, I stream using an older PC. How do I connect my newer PC to the setup?
Can you repeat that, please?
I sure can. He's Jim Morales. He says, I stream using an older PC. How do I connect my newer PC to the setup?
Okay. So Monty asked the question. You might want to make sure you take that.
Yes.
All right. So how do you connect your newer PC to the setup? So are you saying that you're going to try to use two PCs at the same time? You can do that. You can do that theoretically. I don't know. See, the sync is off on Monica. I had a feeling it might be. I can fix that next time I go to the Monica question cam. I think that's a product of the fact that I moved that other thing. I moved the camera to another. Yeah, I'll fix it. Don't worry. So you can. Let's go into the tutorial cam here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually remove this device. All right. So if you wanted to add a second machine, what you do on your second machine is you go to Tools and you go to NDI Output Settings, and then you go to Main Output, and you just check that on, right? So now I'm outputting whatever's in this window. And as long as your other machine is on the same network, then you can go in here, go to NDI Source, you can put in whatever the name of that one is, click OK, and then you can drop this down and you're going to see that OBS output main. And you can add that scene right into here. So that's one way that you can use two machines at once. And all they have to do is be on the exact same network to be able to do it. Organic Gardening, hello. Exploring Ginger, hello. Would you recommend just using the new one? Jim, I would definitely recommend that you keep it as simple as you possibly can until you get up to speed. And then you can use the second one for something else. But if you have a machine with an NVIDIA card, it's definitely the one that you should be using. Now I'm going to go to the Monica question cam and I'm going to try to fix the lag. Hopefully there won't be any this time around.
Are we on me?
You're on you.
Am I entertaining the crowd?
You are.
But is my video matching my audio? That is the question.
That's a good question.
That's a good question. Is my video currently matching the audio? Because he stepped away from the scene. So it's all me, guys. This is it. This is what you get. So, yeah. He's working on trying to fix something to make sure that my sound is now matching. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what we get.
All right, babe. Do we have any other questions?
We do. We have plenty of questions. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
You're ready. Okay, this one comes from CodyCat69. He says, he asked you this the other day, is there any way to separate audio channels for Skype NDI?
Okay. All right. So, theoretically, this has always worked for me on PC and has never worked for me on a Mac. But if I go into, let's go over here. If I go into my thing, no, I don't want to turn the machine off. That'd be dumb. Be a short stream tonight after I turn my machine off by accident. All right, so theoretically, oh, for God's sakes, allow this app to make whatever. Are you serious? You're gonna do this now? All right, let's see here. I probably won't be able to demo this. I usually can, but I don't think I'll be able to demo it because I don't think, I don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know that I'm going to be able to demo it. But basically what happens is if you get... and you know what? I just updated my Skype, so maybe it doesn't even work. But usually what I'll do is I'll go in here and I'll add an NDI source and I'll say, you know, J, and then I'll select J's NDI source out of here, click OK, and then I can add a second NDI source in here, and this would be, you know, Michael, and then that will add, and you can see down here at the bottom it's adding separate audio sources. Now I noticed on a Mac that all these audio sources down here tend to be exactly the same, so you really have to just go and mute all of the ones except for one. But I have noticed that on my PC at least, it has been separating those audio sources. So when you add each individual person, theoretically they're supposed to be separate audio sources. I have seen it work both ways. So I'm guessing it is either the version of the Skype software that I'm using or something like that that has given me the ability to do that. So if you're having problems with it, maybe you can do a search on Google to find out which versions are particularly good at NDI. And of course, I probably just screwed up my machine because I updated Skype. But yeah, so that's how I've always been able to get separate audio channels. It doesn't necessarily mean they're good audio channels, because I think Skype might share like a 160 kilobyte bit rate through across the whole thing. So there you go. It's, yeah. There is that. But let's go back to the Monica cam and let's see whether her voice matches up now.
In the Woods with Wolfie did say there was a bit of a lag. So is there still a lag, or was he able to fix it?
Looks right on here.
Does it look right? Does it sound right?
It looks like it would be. Go ahead.
Are we
with your
good?
question,
Okay. First of all, Jim Morales says, by the way, read the Mustang color. Basic physics. Green means go.
Yeah, baby.
Okay, next question comes from Astropar. She says, is there a way to have guiding lines in OBS to locate objects like you have them in Streamlabs OBS?
You know, Astroparch, I don't know. I don't think so. Let's see, toolbars, list boxes. I don't think there is any kind of guideline thingies that you can put on there. There's definitely nothing in tools or anything like that, but it's pretty easy to line them up. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I've never had a problem with not having the guidelines, but you're right, it does not have them in OBS. So let's go see what the next question is.
The American Wanderer says there is still a little lag, so maybe if I talk slower I'll catch up with myself. Okay, TS7 Gaming says, how can I have my phone screen on OBS? Gaming, oh, so I'm sorry, and also his controller. So, all right, let me read this again. TS7 Gaming, how can I have my phone screen on OBS, also my controller? Does that make sense? Okay.
So TS7, can you use a grease pencil? TS7 Gaming. So, you can capture your cell phone video by using a program called NDI-HX. It's pretty simple stuff. I have a video that I did that shows you how to do it. Let me see if I can. Let me see if I can grab that video for you here. NDI-HX will work with your cell phone. I believe it works with Apple and Android phones, but I am not 100% sure. But what it will do is it will capture your screen and allow you to use it as a second camera. So it does all kinds of pretty cool stuff as well. This video should give you the idea of how you can do it right here, and it will show you how to capture and use it as a camera, but you can also use the screen capture feature, which should allow you to capture games from your iPhone or your Android phone and project them or broadcast them through OBS. So that's my first guess as to how you would do something like that. I know that if you're using a Mac, Mac has a program that will emulate the screen from your phone, so that everything you do on your phone, you'll be able to see it on your computer. I think it's called like X something or other. And that obviously is just for Mac, and you just plug your phone into your Mac when you use that program, and you could just do a screen capture for that. But obviously if you don't have a Mac, there's no way around that. So for PC and stuff, that HDI NX is the thing you're probably going to want to check out. Let's go ahead and see what Monica has to say here on the beautiful, 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 amazing sandwich maker Monica question cam.
Next question comes from behind the scenes. Have you ever had problems setting up a separate mic from your webcam on OBS?
All right. Let me try to follow. So the webcam microphone, you're trying to set that up as a second microphone? Because if you do that, first of all, my microphone is plugged directly into my camera, which is why I never, ever, 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 ever have to worry about any kind of delay problems with my microphone and my camera. The reason why we are dealing with a slight delay problem on Monica's is because I added a third camera on the same bus, and so we had some logistical technical issues, and she is using a camera and a microphone that are not connected. So we're using, I believe that's a Logitech 930, and the microphone is a USB microphone. So that is, if you want to try to eliminate lag and potential audio sync problems, always try to use the input that's on your microphones and stuff. Quite honestly, if you are serious about live streaming and you plan to do it for any period of time, and you want high quality imagery like what you see right here, get yourself a DSLR. Some of the cheap Canons now will operate or function like a DSLR. I use a Sony A6500. It's the same camera that I shoot all of my videos on. Believe me, when you can plug your microphone into that camera and then have that camera film you, you don't have to worry about any audio sync issues. You will thank yourself for spending the extra couple of bucks to get it. And you know, to be honest with you, that that Logitech 9 something, whatever it is, the picture looks horrible, the audio is horrible, and it's like $300 or $400. For $300 or $400, you probably could get, for $300 or $400, you could probably get a cheap Canon that will do that will function as a webcam, and you'll be much happier. You'll be much happier. So, in my experience, yes, we definitely do get out of sync audio issues when you're trying to add a second microphone to use for your webcam. And the only way to adjust those or fix those is to go into your audio properties and not your audio properties, the audio advanced properties, and to use the sync offset, or to go into your video and delay your video a little bit using the video delay feature. So hopefully that answers your question. I know it's, I know sometimes nobody wants to hear the right answer, but the right answer is to try to use a camera that has the microphone built in. I use a really expensive shotgun microphone with my camera. This is a DSLR microphone, so it's just, if live streaming is something you're going to try to do in the long term, this is the kind of equipment that you're going to want to work towards if you can. We're gonna hop over to the question cam again and see if the beautiful Monica's microphone is matching up again.
Is this any better? Test 1, 2, 3. Monty Weaver says, how are you displaying the YouTube view counter in the top corner of your stream?
Oh, I love this question. Hold on. I love this question. I love it, I love it, I love it. All right, so let's go over here to the tutorial page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop out a piece of my browser here so you guys can see it right there. And what I'm going to do now is we're going to go to the widgets. And obviously this is Streamlabs. So basically what you do is you go down here to the viewer count, and you can set this up to do viewers for Twitch, Mixer. Obviously that's gone now, but YouTube. I do mine for YouTube, and then I just copy the URL right here, and then I will go over, and this may not work because I'm already using it on that stream, but we'll see what happens. I click the plus, I go to browser, and I'm going to call this view count, and click OK, and I can just add that link in here that I just copied out of the widget, and boom, there we go. There we go. There we go. It's that simple. You just have to make sure that you have your Streamlabs account set up to obviously with the same channel that you're streaming from. If you have multiple channels and you're in the wrong Streamlabs account, it won't work. But as long as you're in the same Streamlabs account, you can do that. That's the exact same way as I'm putting the chat on the screen here for the main as well. If you see the chat that's yeah, right over there. Yeah, right over there, that chat. That's all from Streamlabs. All of the widgets down here below that give all this awesome donation and all that stuff information, that's from Streamlabs as well. So Streamlabs is a super mega handy tool. Holy mackerel, we have 29 people in the room, honey. 29 people. Amazing. Let's go over to the beautiful Monica and see what the next question is.
Next question comes from Tamor Ali. Do you think that virtual studio-based webinars are possible for OBS, video presentation, PowerPoint presentation, live multiple guests through video calls, and live host?
Right. And who asked the question? Tamor Ali. Tamor Ali. I believe that it's absolutely possible to do it, but I'm not sure that it's the right tool for the job. Something like Zoom does webinars pretty good. If you're looking to do a much more produced thing where people share their desktops and that sort of thing, it's using something like Restream.io, which you can see right here. There's a link down below to Restream if you want to check it out. You can do live meetings in Restream.io, add slides, all that kind of stuff. Basically, OBS is a broadcast software, so you can add PowerPoint presentations and slides and all that kind of stuff to your broadcast. But when you start to add guests to a broadcast in OBS, especially if you don't have a pretty high quality machine, it can get difficult. I did a video on Friday about the easiest way to add guests to a broadcast like this. You can add up to 10 guests. And I can link that video for you here. But to be honest with you, I think if that's the main goal is webinars, I'm not sure that OBS is the tool that you want to be looking into. The one reason why people do use OBS for things like that, or as a camera source in Zoom or something like that, is because it gives you the ability to add lower thirds and all kinds of other really cool stuff. And I really wish that companies like Zoom would make it easier for you to do that, but they don't. So here is a possible add a guest alternative for you to make it really easy to use OBS as a webinar session kind of thing. But I would also keep in mind that I'm not totally certain that it's ideal, at least from a webinar perspective, because there's so many products out there that you can get that will essentially integrate payments, and you can break people out into separate rooms and that sort of stuff, and OBS is not going to make that easy for you. So there is that. Let's go and let's go see what the Monica question. Hopefully I answered your question properly. If not, don't hesitate to pipe up and say, Mike, you suck. What I don't understand what you said. So we'll fix it. Let's see. What's up, Monica?
What's up? Okay, next question is from the Living a Life show. How do you record audio and video on different tracks so I can sync in post if I record in OBS to edit later?
Oh, beautiful. I love this question. Who asked this question?
This is Living a life show.
Living the life show. I love this question. All right. So here's what I've done in the past. Let's say that you have all right, let's say, I'm going to remove this. I don't know if I'll actually be able to use my webcam now that I switched it, but we're going to try it anyway. No, not that. We're going to try it anyways, even if it might mess up Monica's voice again. We'll see. General webcam. There we go. We can use it. All right. Look at that. Isn't that nice? You can see my little reflector. We're going to crop that. Woohoo! Look at that. Look at that. Oh, that looks pretty bad. I know. That looks pretty bad, but as far as $20 webcams go, it could be a lot worse. All right, so we have this, but I didn't do any voice capture. So let's go back into properties, and we're gonna set this up so it's going to capture my oh, whoa, what was that? Did you feel that?
What?
Oh, okay. No, I felt a boom.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, I felt a boom. Okay, so now we're capturing the webcam, which is that right there. But if we wanted to add another microphone, we can go to audio input. I like to do this just because I know I have the audio coming directly off the camera. It's always going to be synced. So I always have a frame of reference. And then I'm going to add a second piece of audio right here. You don't have to do this. It's just a little trick that I use, and I'm going to use audio interface Camlink 2 and click OK. So then I'm going to go into advanced audio properties, and so my video capture device is the webcam audio. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this on track 1, right? And then I want my my actual good audio that I want to use on my video capture device right here, okay? And you can actually kind of already see that one of them is picking up a lot of my air conditioning. Anyway, they're on two different tracks now. My audio input capture, the actual good microphone is on track 1. The video capture device is on track 2, which is a reference because the video capture device should be perfectly synced because it's on the webcam. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into settings, and I'm going to go into output, and we're going to go into recording. And right here, it's going to tell you how many audio tracks it's going to record. So I know I have 2 audio tracks, one microphone on track 1, one microphone on track 2. I just select track 2. Now when it records, when I bring that audio or when I bring that video into Premiere, it's going to have the video, and then down in the audio source, it's going to have both microphones. So if I do this before I start recording, you're going to be able to see how those recordings line up, and you can use the audio that's native on the microphone to line it up with the audio from the good microphone, and then you're going to be all set. It just makes it so much easier if you record the 2 tracks. Hopefully this makes sense to you. I know it is a little bit of long-winded explanation, but in the past when I've had sync issues with that, I've always recorded natively and then with a second microphone on a second track, and it really does work. It really does work. So hopefully that helps you out. That's a lot of audio there. It's a lot of audio. Let's remove this before I go and flip it to the Monica question cam and see. And by the way, if I didn't answer your question properly, please let me know in the comments, and I will I'll do it again. I'll do it again. Here we go. Let's see what the beautiful, wonderful, amazing Monica question cam has to say.
We have another question from JRD Cab 66. My OBS Studio doesn't have scenes, sources, audio mixer. Sounds like he's having issues. It just says my OBS Studio doesn't have scenes, sources.
I don't know why your OBS Studio wouldn't have those things. I mean, you can kind of pop them out, see, like that. And you can move them around, and you can go here. The only reason why I can think of why I wouldn't have it there is if you go to Docs, I can turn it off right here. So I can turn scenes off, see? And then I can go to Docs, and I can turn scenes back on. So go up to your view, and your docks, and just make sure that your scenes and sources and audio mixer and scene transitions, make sure all this stuff is turned on. And if you do that, well, you're gonna be a lot happier with what you can see, I think, because that's the only possible explanation as to why it would work, unless of course you're using something like a 2-screen setup and you have it split, but that's a little more complicating as well. So there you go. Let's see what the beautiful and wonderful, amazing Monica at Question Cam has to say now.
Next question comes from the Future Soundbeat asking, I would like to know how to connect OBS and Zoom.
All right. Well, I've done at least 2 or 3 videos on connecting OBS and Zoom. I'm assuming if you're asking how to connect OBS and Zoom, you're meaning that you want to use OBS as a camera in Zoom. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to link you to a video that will help you to solve that problem. I also have a video that will show you how to use Zoom in OBS. And if that's what you're looking for, I can give you that as well. Now, the big question is, are you using a PC or a Mac? Because the process is actually slightly different for a PC and a Mac. But here is most of the folks that come in here are usually Mac users. So I'm going to, here is the Mac version of that video that shows you how to go OBS to Zoom. And I'm just gonna pop the PC version in there real quick, just in case someone has the same question for the PC. And that way I don't have to, that's really easy for you to just watch that video. You're going to be able to connect your Zoom to your OBS. Okay, so that first one, the first link there is to a video that shows you how to set up your OBS as a camera in your Mac using NDI. And if you have any questions, I actually did a video on how to solve the most common problems as well, and that just came out on Wednesday if you need to find that one. And it's also in the playlist on the OBS Zoom connections. So Future Soundbeat, I hope that answers your question. If you get through the video and you can't figure it out, you can easily contact me on Twitter and Facebook and all that stuff right here. I'm easy to get a hold of, or just leave a comment. I answer every single one. Let's go to the beautiful and amazing Monica Sandwich Maker.
Okay, next one comes from Tech for Your Needs. What is the minimum requirement you need to run OBS? I see a lot of people having trouble. I have an older laptop. And how time consuming is OBS? I use Streamyard for the ease of use.
And this is Tech for Your Needs, an old long-time friend. Very, very good guy. Okay, so it depends what you're trying to do with your live stream. In other words, you can probably, and I know Tech for Your Needs is probably using PCs as well. A lot of the folks that come in here that are struggling and having problems with their live streams are Mac users. And the reason why people struggle on a Mac is because Mac won't use a dedicated graphics card to fix the problem. So if you're using an older PC, but that older PC has like an NVIDIA card or something like that, you're probably not going to have a lot of problems. But you don't need, like this machine here that I'm using for this live stream, I built in 2013. I have a 2015 Mac, and it's unusable for live streaming. So honestly, I don't know what the minimum requirements are for OBS, but just for a basic stream that has you live, they're not very high. When you start to add video and stuff like that, that's where you get into complications. And if you're going to be using an application like Skype or Zoom to add guests, then it gets even more complicated. But just for a simple basic broadcast a live stream kind of thing, you can probably do it on just about any laptop. So hopefully Tech for Your Needs, that answers your question. But you know how to get a hold of me. So you can just message me and we'll figure it out. I can tell you whether your laptop will work. And Future Soundbeat says thank you. I will check. I will check it at the end of the stream. Oh, okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome. I may still have some questions. Super. Lance, I know, it's crazy. It's crazy, Lance. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. Did I miss saying hi to anyone, I wonder? Mohammed, hello. I'm not going to try to pronounce your last name. Hopefully you understand. I'm so bad. I am so bad. I'm just horrible. So, Asp is live. Hello. It is awesome to see you. Man, so many. We got 29 folks chilling out here with us. The American Wanderer's in the house. Tech for your needs. All right. So let's go on to the next question with the beautiful and lovely, amazing Monica Question Can.
Next question comes from Deshaun Hawkins. He says, I don't want to use my Elgato HD60S via HDMI. Is there any way to get me up and running OBS or Streamlabs? His Elgato HD60S via HDMI.
Okay, so the Elgato HD60S is, for those of you who don't know, it's like a gaming capture card or a gaming card, and you don't necessarily use it through HDMI. At least that's not, like, that plugs into your USB. Obviously, the one side has to plug into HDMI from your game console or from your camera. But, oh my gosh. Pauline. Holy mackerel. If you saw Monica's face just now, you just wouldn't even believe it. Thank you so much, Pauline. Holy moly. Whoa. That's awesome. Thank you. Wow. Holy moly. Now I'm totally what the question was. Wow, that knocked my socks off. Thank you, Pauline. That's amazing.
It was about the Elgato.
Oh, so.
Just added another comment, so if you want to read that.
Okay, my name is pronounced Deshaun. Okay, thank you. I forgot to add this to my question. I have a dedicated graphics card too. Actually, a Radeon Pro Vegas 20 gigabyte Intel UDH graphics. Okay, so I don't have a busload of experience with, because I believe the Radeon is a AMD graphics card, isn't it? I'm not, if I'm not mistaken, and AMD doesn't have a native language that it speaks to OBS with. The NVIDIA stuff is built in, and here, I want to show you real quick. Let's go over to the tutorial so I can show you what I'm talking about. If I go into settings and I go to my output, you can see NVIDIA NVIC. This is the reason why I am able to do so much crazy shit on my stream. It's because everything is being encoded by the graphics card, the NVIDIA graphics card. So I can run 27 programs on here and 4 webcams, but the encoding which is so much work for a CPU, goes on the graphics card and it just does it. So I don't have to worry about it. There is no native NVIDIA NVIC thing for AMD, but it doesn't mean that it's not possible. Go to OBS's forums and search for the AMD version of the NVIC, and I do believe there is a plugin that you can add that will allow you to do it. Now the difference is that I don't know if AMD has a physical chip on their graphics card that actually does the encoding, whereas NVIDIA has a physical chip separate from all the graphics processing on the card that does the coding, which is why it's just the best for if you're just live streaming. You can play a game at 60 frames per second on an NVIDIA card while you're live streaming, and the reason why there's no problems is because the card isn't physically encoding it. That little tiny chip that's on the card is. So I highly recommend that you see what they have available for AMD. I don't have a whole heck of a lot of experience, but I do know for sure that there is a plugin that gives you the ability to offload the encoding onto the AMD chip. So Deshaun, I hope that at least gives you some information about what you can do to improve the performance of your excuse me, to improve the performance of your thing, because I'm not exactly totally certain that I understand what the HD what you're trying to do with your capture card. So maybe if you clarify that, I can answer that as well. But definitely you want to see if you can find the plugin for your AMD so that you can use that encoder. Is it spelled with HV? Yeah, it's this one right here, HVENC. But that's not what gonna. That encoder's specific to NVIDIA. You know what? Let's go to the website and find it. Let's go to the website and find it because I know it's there. AMD OBS encoder. AMD OBS. So here it is. AMD hardware encoder OBS forums. This is where you want to go. 32, 64-bit. There is one here. Ever wanted to use your hardware AMD with the NVIC? Yep. See, there you go. With HVC. So this is the one. This is the one you want to look for. In fact, what I'll do is I'm going to just pop that into the chat so you can pop right over there and check it out. That's the one. I hope that helps you, Deshaun. I really do. Let's go see what the amazing and fantastic and wonderful Monica has to say. And by the way, I cannot possibly say this enough. Thank you, Pauline. You know, what do you even say? Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, and he just took the words right out of my mouth. I was going to say the same thing, Pauline. Thank you so much. It means a lot to us. Appreciate it. Okay, next question comes from behind the scenes. What software are you using to show us the OBS screen while broadcasting?
Oh man, I love this question because it shows that someone's thinking. Let me show you something. It shows that someone's thinking. So if I go in here and I do let's do a display capture. And you can see that it's obviously giving you the inception because we're displaying the same monitor. But if I select my other monitor, you can see, boom, there's my stream. Look at that. So I have two instances of OBS running. One that I demo on this screen over here. Oh, you know what? Nobody even saw that because I'm not even on the right screen. See? I'm the moron now. All right, let's do this again. Hold on. As I want to blow your mind for a second time by using visuals instead of stupidity. Alright, so here's my tutorial page. And you can see if I go down here and I add a display capture, I'm going to get the inception. That means it's showing my physical display that I'm using to show you guys all the tutorial stuff. If I select my other display, boom! You can see that that is my OBS. That is running on my screen. I've got my chat here. I've got my scenes here. I got all my stats up here showing me that I've dropped 16 frames. Shouldn't be doing that. But anyway, down here I lagged 0 frames. Anyway, so that's how I get this done. I set up a second instance of OBS that I'm running currently on my machine. If you are interested in knowing how to do that, I will show you right now. You can see right here I have OBS Studio and then OBS Studio second. What I did was I have OBS running, let's see, OBS Studio right here. So is this where it is? Yep. So right here is the original OBS. Now it's popping around just for fun. Right here, that is the data folder that runs from OBS Studio. That's what's installed. All I did was copy that and then paste it and name it something else. So that gives me the ability to run 2 versions of OBS at the same time. You will get an error message when you do it. Here, I'll show you. if I close this one out and then I go to run my OBS second, see? OBS is already running, blah, blah, blah. That just means you can't magically go live with 2 versions of OBS at the same time. And I get another error message right here telling me that my port 444 is in use. That's the WebSocket. WebSocket is what I use to run my my switchboard off of, so that that means that my switchboard is only going to run my main. It's not going to run my other one, but that's okay, because you know there's only so many times you can get crazy with it. So that is how I'm running 2 at the same time. Hopefully that answers your question. That's an awesome question. I love that question. I really do. Here we go. It's all you, baby.
It's all me. Baby. Deshaun has a follow-up. He says, I don't want to use the capture card because it uses my camera HDMI. That was for the gaming one.
Okay. Oh, yeah! Boy, that took a while. Deshaun, so you don't want to use your camera's HDMI. Are you planning to use that camera as a webcam? Depending upon what kind of camera it is, you may be able to use your the USB out. I do believe that certain Canons give you the ability to use your camera as a webcam without using the HDMI out. They allow you to use the USB out, but not everyone will. I think even some Sony cameras can do it. But you'll have to check. I would rather use my GH5 camera via USB-C and my smartphone Samsung Galaxy USB-C output instead to go directly into my USB-C inputs of my MacBook Pro. Only USB-C. Yeah, I can see exactly what you're saying. I don't know that a GH5 will do what you're trying to do. Let's go over here for a second, because I'm not 100% certain that your GH5 will do it. GH5 USB webcam. Let's set up Panasonic camera for live streaming webcam Mac. So that's this Richard Wong video, maybe. I don't know if he's using a cam link or not. Let's see. It's hard to say. Lumix tether for streaming. Use your Panasonic camera as a webcam for PC and Windows. Lumix streaming beta. So it does have an application that it looks like it allows you to do it. Whether it will go to USB-C or not is another question. But it does look like there is something in beta that will allow you to do it. So maybe check out the Lumix webpage and see if there is more information on that. Because I suspect you're going to be able to do, if you can't do what you want to do now, it isn't too long coming. I don't think. Let's see. Garrett Edits, hello. Canon has a webcam utility. Yep, that's what I'm talking about. And I'm thinking that Lumix is setting one up too. At some stage, do channel reviews so we can see what we are doing wrong and not wrong. Garrett, I've had a couple of questions about this over the last couple of weeks. And I'm really thinking that as the questions start to wane for some of the live streaming stuff, I will definitely probably try to add in some channel reviews. If not, I think it's possible that I may add a second live stream and maybe do one that's more focused on doing channel reviews and that sort of stuff, because I think it would be fun. And I have a friend who is literally, in my opinion, one of the best analyzing type folks out there, and I'd like to maybe have him as a guest when I do some of those, so that we can really add some more insight into things that folks can do. So I am listening, and I would really like to do that sort of stuff in the future. Let's pop over to the Monica question cam and see what we got going on.
One question, well, there's multiple questions, but this one is from the Living the Life show. What's the difference between OBS and Streamlabs OBS?
This is another This is another good question. I don't know why it keeps giving me the oh yeah every time I go in there. That's kind of annoying. But is that happening every time I go back from... Hold on a second. Is it going to do it again? Is it going to do it again? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why it's doing that, but I'll figure it out. Now I lost track of... Oh, OBS differences. Okay, so let's go over here. So OBS is a free open source software, and what that means is that anyone can take the framework and the coding from OBS and expand on it and use it in any way they want. So what Streamlabs basically did was they took the coding from OBS and they added a skin. You know, a slick package that makes it look a little bit different, integrates some of their widgets, but essentially there's nothing that you can do in OBS, or there's nothing you can do in Streamlabs that you can't do in OBS. For me, the reason why I use OBS is because Streamlabs adds an overhead to OBS that I just don't really care for. So in other words, Streamlabs is going to work exactly like OBS is, with a prettier skin and a little more CPU overhead. So honestly, there is almost no difference other than pretty skin. Hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that answers your question. All right, let's go see what the beautiful and lovely Monica has to say.
Is it me?
It is you.
Okay, all right, we're ready. Charles Thomas says, I have a new MacBook Pro 2.3 gigahertz 8-core Intel Core i9, 16 gigabytes, 16 gigabytes of memory, but have a really hard time with OBS and OBS Studios. It seems that Ecamm uses less CPU. Any advice?
Oh yeah!
Why is that doing that? I don't know why I keep getting... Maybe that's just in my headset. Are you guys hearing that? I don't know. Are you guys hearing that or not? You'll have to let me know in the thing. Okay, so Ecamm is actually specifically designed for your Mac. They're doing something in such a way as to try to take as much of the processing off of your Mac as possible, because I've covered this before a couple of times. But if I go over here, I'm using a PC, and I used to live stream on my Mac, so I'm not going to say that it's impossible. But you really, 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 really have to optimize what you're doing. And let me explain what I mean. Are you guys hearing that, or is that just me? It's driving me freaking nuts. Hold on, let me go here into my soundboard and see if I can determine why that's happening. There we go.
Yes, I can hear that.
Yeah, all right. I fixed it, I think. We'll see. So all of this stuff that's in my overlay here is all optimized specifically to run at 1920 by 1080, which is the resolution that I stream at. If you can't, or your machine struggles to do stuff like running at 1920 by 1080, you have to resize everything. You want to always try to make sure everything is in the native size. Yes, we can hear it too. I hope I fixed it, Charles. I hope I did. You have to make sure to optimize it. Now, here's the reason why your Mac is struggling. Is it going to do it again? Better not. Better not. It didn't. It didn't. Yay, I think we got it. Okay, so here's the reason why your Mac is struggling. If I go into settings, and I just kind of went over this a second ago, on a PC with an NVIDIA video card, I have this thing called the NVIC encoder. So my graphics card has an encoder on it that just takes care of compiling all the video that I'm sending out to the live stream, so that none of that ever touches my CPU. So you can see my CPU usage is right here, set at 52%. I'm using almost none of my computer to actually stream this live, even with all these different applications open and all that kind of stuff. So what your Mac does is it doesn't have that. So all of the encoding for everything that you put in there, so if you're using Zoom, it has to encode that video. And then if you're using OBS, it has to encode that video. And Macs don't have a hardware encoder that can offload that to the graphics card. I'm really excited for the new Macs that have the ARM chips in them, because I think there's a possibility we might finally get a solution. But for now, your Mac is basically like a square peg in a round hole. It's awesome for video editing, it's awesome for photo editing, but it's not made for gaming, and it's not made for live streaming. And it sucks, because I'd love to use my Mac to live stream, but it sounds like a jet plane taking off. So I can't do it. But that's what's going on. Now, if you're interested in trying to figure out more about what might be causing your problem, I did a video on troubleshooting so that you can figure out whether it actually is your Mac, your OBS connection, or whether it's actually your, maybe there's something else running in the background. Maybe it's Chrome. Believe me, Chrome can have a negative effect on the way that your computer reacts to a lot of things. So it could be Chrome, but this link right here is going to at least give you the ability to troubleshoot a little bit about what's going on with your Mac, so you can see whether that Mac is the problem or whether it's something else running on your machine. Because this will show you what, whether you're dropping frames and all that kind of stuff. So hopefully that helps you. I know I hate giving that kind of news, because as a Mac lover, I don't want to hear that it's not going to do what I want it to do either. But unfortunately, it's just not how they're built at the moment. Let's pop over to the amazing, beautiful, stunningly gorgeous sandwich maker Monica question cam.
Thank you, honey. Another question from the future Soundbeat saying, if he uses OBS Studio and Streamlabs OBS at the same time, because I see people from Facebook joining message coming as Streamlabs, and I'm a little bit confused. Does that make sense at all? Okay. It says, I would like to know if use OBS Studio and Streamlabs OBS at the same time, because I see people from Facebook joining message coming as Streamlabs, and I'm a little bit confused.
Okay. All right.
That makes more sense. Okay.
Well, sort of. Okay, so probably what's going on is you can see, so in Streamlabs and OBS are basically the same. So I'm using like every aspect of the widgets that you see all around this come from Streamlabs. This this viewer count comes from Streamlabs. The subscriber count stuff down below comes from Streamlabs. The chat, the donation jar, all of that stuff comes from Streamlabs, but I stream with OBS. So if you come over here, you can see if I'm going to add any of these widgets from Streamlabs, or it's quite possible that they're using the chat overlay in their streams, like the one that I'm using, and it might actually say something like that, or they may be using Streamlabs to stream to multiple locations at the same time, or they may be using OBS to stream to multiple locations at the same time, and in which case they're using the Streamlabs chat bot to tell them which chat they're talking to, and that might be what you're seeing. It's distinctly possible that it's actually the Streamlabs chat bot, because if you see in my stream, I have, let's see, we'll go back to the main screen, and if, like, you see where it says Streamlabs, that's just a chat bot.
Oh my goodness, thank you so much.
Carrot Edit, thank you so much, I appreciate it. The Streamlabs thing that you see is just a chat bot. So he's I set him up to say something every certain number of things to let people know about my Twitter or my Facebook or whatever. So I believe that's probably what you're seeing is the chat bot. Even though I'm still using OBS. Hopefully that answers your question. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see what the amazing and fantastic, beautiful, wonderful Monica question can.
Follow up from Deshaun. He says, there's a Panasonic Lumix tethering app for Windows and Mac and a new beta Lumix tether for streaming app, beta, Windows 10 only at the moment. Until that happens for Mac, any interim ideas, or am I just stuck with the Elgato via HDMI for now?
Well, to be honest with you, you're probably stuck with the Elgato for now, and chances are the actual quality that you're going to get is much higher. Jim, thank you so much. Thank you. The quality that you're going to get is probably higher. The only other real option is to pick up one of the cameras that's already supported and doing it, like one of the Canons or something like that. Will free up that HDMI.
That's awesome.
But
thank you.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but camera companies are finally now coming and giving us what we want. So I don't think it will be long, but you might have to wait a little bit until it happens. So unfortunately, the H60 is probably your best bet until then. And by the way, Jim, thank you so much. You guys are amazing. You guys are absolutely freaking amazing. I love you guys. Let's see what the amazing Monica has to say.
I wanted to say thank you, Jim, also. We do appreciate that. We appreciate it very much. Pythagoras has a question. He says, I decided to try 3 monitors, all attached to the laptop via USB, non-separately powered, to work with OBS. Much easier. Would this sap too much power for streaming, or is it a different kind of power?
This is actually a really, really interesting and cool question, because it depends. If you're using a Macintosh and you're connecting those extra ports through like a USB thing, you could end up running into a situation where it's draining too much power from your laptop. But if you are running them off a USB and they're unpowered, I don't know. You'd have to test. Quite honestly, you'd have to test, because if you're adding cameras and you're adding 3 monitors, USB ports only have so much bandwidth. And there does come a point of no return where you're going to be using more bandwidth than what that USB can provide, in which case you might struggle and run into some significant problems. So the only thing that you can really do to be sure is just test it and see what happens. But assuming that the monitors will run off of the 5 volts that come from a USB port, you should be okay, theoretically. It's mostly a product of bandwidth, and you're going to have to test to see if that's going to cause an issue. What's Monica got to say? Any more questions, honey?
We do have more questions. The next one comes from DJG1. What if we have low graphics card at 500 meg? Can we run the show? I'm a DJ, so I use Tractor 3.0. At the same time, I use OBS. Will this be fine? And what is the best configuration to go streaming? And then he says, what if for Windows DJ, what is the best configuration?
Okay, so that's I need to actually that's a technical question, so I want to see if I can find it. Who
It is DJG.
Okay. If I have a low graphics card as a 500 meg. Okay, so DJG, what kind of graphics card? Is it NVIDIA or is it something else? A Tractor, I don't know what Tractor 3.0 is, but if you have an NVIDIA graphics card with the NVIC chip on it, you'll be able to have no problems running the tractor program and everything else on your CPU, because the NVIDIA graphics card will take all of the encoding on that, so you don't have to worry about it. So that's the big thing. If you have an NVIDIA graphics card and you're not using a Mac, chances are you should be okay. What if for a Windows DJ? What is the best configuration? So the best configuration, if you're going to use a PC, is to have a PC with an NVIDIA graphics card. You go into settings, you set your output, you use the NVIDIA NVIC codec, and then all of the encoding for your stream goes to that, and then your DJ program and OBS and everything else runs off the CPU. But you can see I'm using almost no CPU. I mean, OBS is a really compact, really efficient program. So if you're using OBS, usually that's not the problem. The encoding is the problem. So just make sure that you have all your output stuff, your video base canvas resolution and your output scaled resolution the same. And especially if you have an NVIDIA card, you're going to be in pretty good shape. If not, you can pick up like a 1650, which has the NVIC chip on it, and toss it into just about any PC for, I don't know, a couple $100. You could probably get a refurbed 1650 for maybe even $150, and it can literally solve all of your streaming problems. It's pretty amazing stuff. Let's go see what the amazing, fantastic Monica has to say.
Okay, the last question for now is from Drutgat. He says, am I right in understanding that you can import Streamlabs widgets into OBS?
Drutgat, you are absolutely correct. And I'll show you exactly how to do that. I did this a little bit earlier, but I can go into browser source here. And what do we want to add? Let's add...
Woo!
Well,
that was incredible.
Pythagoras, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I also want to mention, Pythagoras, thank you so much for the donation last week. It's amazing. Thank you. I can't say enough about how much it means to me that you guys do that. It's awesome. It really does help. So if I go into Streamlabs, any of the widgets that you see here, you can add. So you can do media share, and stream labels is kind of a different type of one. Stream labels is what I use to add all of the text information on the bottom of my screen on my main overlay. Ending credits, let's see, the wheel spin, sponsors, the jar. The jar is one of my favorite ones. Let's see, where is it? Tip ticker, the jar. So I can just copy the link right here, and I can go back into my OBS, and we'll call it jar, and click OK, and then I just paste that in here. Whoops, I messed it up. We're gonna copy it again, and then I'm gonna actually paste it in here this time, and click OK, and you'll see that this widget will eventually show up in here. Hopefully it should. It might. There we go. So there's the jar, and then you can actually test to see if it's working. It may not actually work because
Whoa,
it may not actually work.
That's awesome.
Yeah, see, that's
Thank
working,
you.
but this one might not work because it's doubled up. But there you go. That's how you test it as well. So if this wasn't doubled up, it would be working as well. But you can add any of the widgets that way. I think earlier we added the view count widget. So if I go here and we go to view count, we can copy this in here. Go to browser source, and all I have to do is copy that in here, and it's going to show us how many viewers we have right there. So, and I can resize it and crop it and do whatever I like. So any of those Streamlabs widgets will work just fine in OBS. Very simple, very easy. Let's go see what the amazing Monica has to say.
Well, first I want to say thank you to Pythagoras. We appreciate that very much. We also have another question from DJ G. He asked a question saying, what do you suggest for the best streaming for Facebook and Instagram at the same time?
Okay, so if your plan is to use OBS to stream to Facebook and did he say Instagram?
He said Instagram and Facebook.
Okay. You can't stream to Instagram. At least not legally. Hey, it's Dislife, honey.
Dislife.
I know it's been a long time since we've had Dislife in here. Monica just is infatuated. We watch you guys all the time. It's so much fun. It's really nice to see you guys, by the way. It's really nice. In fact, I'm going to go over to the Monica question camp so she can tell you.
Yes. It's so great to see you guys. I watched you I think it was yesterday, because now that you're going back to Disney all the time, I try to like live vicariously through you guys, because we would love to go back, but it's just not in the cards for us right now. So it's amazingly fun to watch you guys over there, and I love the chemistry between you two. It makes me laugh almost every time I watch your videos. I'm laughing, and it's a really good time. You guys are doing a great job.
Woo. What was the question again?
The question. Let's see. What do you suggest for the best streaming for Facebook and Instagram?
Okay. All right, so you can't stream to Instagram. I just want you to know that. I know there's a program out there that will swipe the stream key and stick it in. First of all, Instagram is portrait. Facebook is landscape. Big problem. But if you want to stream to multiple platforms using OBS, Restream.io, there's a link in the description. You can go, here I'll show you exactly how you can do it. You go into your settings and you go to stream. You select Restream.io right here, RMTP. That means your OBS stream will go to Restream. And then what you do is you go to Restream, your Restream account. And you just decide which platforms you want to stream to. You can put them all in here. You just turn them on. I can go to Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, and Periscope all at the exact same time. Keep in mind, I cannot go to Instagram because Instagram is portrait and everything else is landscape. So there is that. So just keep that in mind. But Restream.io is the choice that you want to use if you want to stream to multiple platforms. Excuse me. Hopefully that answers your question, my friend. And I'm going to turn these off before I accidentally do something I didn't want to do. All right.
Whoa.
Let's go to the amazing
awesome.
and
thank you.
Giorgio, thank you so much. Woo. Hold on a second. Let me go to Monica. I got to get something to drink here.
Easy. He's choking over there. So I'm not going to ask my question till he's done, because he's not going to hear me anyway. So thank you guys. I'm seeing all the comments coming in. I really want to thank you guys for making all the nice comments. Michael does see them after the stream when you guys are saying thank you and how much he helped you and everything. So he does see those comments come through. I believe he's ready now. So I'm going to ask another question from Deshaun. It's sort of technical, so I'll read it and you might need to follow up on your own. But it says, final question, how do I add my Samsung Galaxy S9 via a USB-C OTG on a 2-cam setup with GHS and only one Elgato HD 60S? And then he says recommendation, Elgato Stream Deck Mini, ATEM Mini Pro, or another option. That's a mouthful.
Yeah. Wow. So if you're going to be adding a lot of technical cameras like that, I highly recommend the ATEM. It's freaking awesome. It really is awesome. I know it's not cheap, but if you want it to just work, the ATEM it's really awesome. I recently did some work with a church, and they were asking for solutions on that stuff. picked one up. It was awesome. It was awesome. I wish I had a link to give you to go check it out, but it sounds like you know what you're talking about. The ATEM is probably the way you want to go, if you can get one. Because right now, with the COVID thing, there's some of this stuff is tough to get. Don't overpay. Do not overpay. Go to B&H. B&H is usually at least going to give you what the stupid thing actually is worth or what it costs. I've seen them listed for $100 or even $200 more than what you should have to pay. So go to B&H. They're gonna at least give you the thing. But the yeah, that's the ATEM will eliminate a lot of the problems that you're having with having to use multiple capture cards and stuff, because you can actually use the ATEM. You can go right from your HDMI out into the ATEM, no capture card at all. The ATEM works just like a capture card, and you can capture 5 or 6 cameras, and you can physically press a button to switch between those cameras. It's freaking awesome. It's absolutely awesome. Let's go to the beautiful and amazingly, fantastically wonderful Monica question cam.
Next question comes from Giorgio. He says, I have a question. What do you use to take pictures of yourself and put them in your thumbnails?
Woohoo! All right, Giorgio. All right, Giorgio. This is a good question. What do I use to take pictures of myself? I use the camera, and then I import those photos into my computer. And then, this is epic. Let me see. I use Pixlr. Pixlr is an awesome. Let's see here. We can use that. See, there's a picture of me that I've imported into Pixlr. This happens to be Pixlr E. If you wanted to, you could probably use AI Auto. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. There's a lot of blue on here, but you can see, kaboom! I'm already cut out. Super freaking easy. I can go in and clean this up if I wanted to by going here, remove some of this mask around the edges of my hair and all that kind of stuff. Take a little more time with it. But quite honestly, it's that easy with Pixlr E. Then all I have to do is I could go, let's see. What do I want to do here? My brain is not functional. Select image. Here we go. Image rotation. No. Where is it? Shapes. No. Where's my stock? Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you, Ariel. I appreciate it. Spring file. Here it is. There it is. Yeah, okay, why not? Boom. This is probably ultra. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. That is not what I wanted to do at all. Come on, really? I want to use file, stock search. This one. What is this doing? Image you selected is very large. That's not what I want to be doing. Yeah, I should call. I need to call someone. Thanks, honey. Is it here? No. Image. No. Let's see. Why is it not there? Add mask. Remove mask. Anyway, I can add stock to this. Or stroke. No, that's not it. Why is this not giving me the option? I can add. Either way, the question was, how do I cut myself out? That's how I do it. Then I could just add any other stock image back there to fill in the background. Image size, image rotation, stock search. Why does this not allow me to add the stock to my... The image you select is very large. I see, but it's not doing it. It's not. it's creating another image. It's not, this isn't doing what it's supposed to do. But either way, this is what I use. I could use this, I can use the simpler one right here. And this will actually give me what I want without hassling me. Because I don't know why Pixlr E is hassling me. So now all I have to do is
Total Growth Investing says change to the background layer. Is that not that?
yeah, I mean, I know what he's saying, but there we go. See, it's that easy in Pixlr X. I don't know what, if I go back to Pixlr E, it should do the same thing. In other words, if I cut myself out here, it's supposed to work the same. If I use the AI here, I should be able to add Pixlr stock. See where we're right here, we're in the thing. I should be able to go here and use the stock stuff. But you can see, instead of adding the stock to my same image, it's not. It's creating another image. So it shouldn't be doing that. I don't know why it's doing that. But we were able to do it in Pixlr X. So I was able to show you how to do it. That's exactly how I do it. It shouldn't, I don't know why Pixlr E is not functioning the way it's supposed to. But, let's see, aspect fixed free. That kind of bothers me now. I really want to figure out why that's not working right. But at the end of the day, do you guys really care? No, probably not. Yeah, stock search, create new, open image. It's not doing what it's supposed to do. So either way, hopefully that answers your question. I use Pixlr E or Pixlr X to do it, and usually I don't have any problems with it. I don't know why it's giving me problems now. Let's go back and see if we have any other questions.
We do have questions. We have a question from Total Growth Investing. Welcome. They are asking, I'm having to delink the video and audio to boost the audio in Audacity. It really sounds like I need a better microphone. Any top recommendations?
Whoa, wrong one. Top recommendations. Can you give me just 2 seconds, because I do actually have a recommendation for a video that you can watch for a microphone that has been very, very good. That I would really recommend. If I can actually find it here. That's not where I want to be. That's not where I want to be. Just give me 2 moments here. And let's see. I believe, here it is. I'm going to give you a link to a video that I think will give you some idea of a really good microphone that's actually pretty reasonably priced. And plus, it's from a friend. So check that video out there if you want to. It's actually the Audio Technica. It's an Audio Technica microphone. It's quite good, so check it out. Oh my goodness, thank you so much. Thank you behind the scenes, I appreciate that. Let's go to the Monica question cam, see what she has to say.
One more question from Deshaun. He says, can you get any better quality out of the built-in internal cam on MacBook Pro?
Unfortunately, you cannot. It is 720. I still see people doing broadcasts for like Good Morning Football and stuff like that using their MacBook Pro with a 720 camera. Seriously. No, it is what it is. You can, however, go into OBS and you can do pretty well to fix these up. And let me show you what I'm talking about. Let's see. Let's use my general webcam. And we're going to go to... This will probably screw up Monica's audio again, but we're going to live with that. We're going to try to do the best we can with it. Seriously. And I don't like to have my reflector in there, so we're just going to crop that out. There we go. That's good enough for me. Now I can go here and go to filters, and I can go to effects, and I can add color correction, and I can also add sharpen and other stuff. But if we go into color correction, you will find that you can adjust the gamma, the contrast, the brightness. I could take some of the saturation out so I don't look quite so orange, and all that kind of stuff. So you can definitely improve the look of your webcam in here if you'd like. And there you go. It's not too bad. You can also go in here and use this configure video. Now this is a janky $20 webcam, so the only controls I can do is exposure. But a lot of webcams will have a lot more controls in here, so you can go in and you can adjust all kinds of other things as well. So just keep that in mind. There are a couple of different ways that you can improve the look of your webcam. And you can see that's not too bad. It's not too good, but it's not too bad. So hopefully that answers your question. And let's see what else we got going on here. Let's go to the Monica question cam.
We have one more question from Eric Griffith, and I don't remember seeing you before, so welcome. He says, I'm using OBS and Zoom and have a pretty noticeable video lag. Any suggestions?
All right, so video lag. So that means the audio is coming first and the video is coming second. I'm guessing you're probably using a USB microphone. I did kind of talk about a couple of different ways that you can correct that issue earlier. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to OBS Zoom. All right, so you know what? I'm going to walk you through real quick how to figure out. Oh, first 1,000 hours. Thank you so much. I did a guest live stream with Streamlabs OBS and Skype. My guest moved without me doing anything, awesome. And audio clipped at the end while I was talking. I was showing muted video. Why? I'll get to you in a second. Here's how you can adjust your audio. If I put my video capture device back on here, webcam, and we'll crop this again. All right, so let's say my audio wasn't synced, which right now there is no audio. So let me go right here, go to properties, and in order to get out of sync audio, the best way to manage to do that is to use a device that's not actually the device. This audio device would be using the general webcam. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to use Camlink. Okay, so there's a possibility that the audio here is out of sync. In fact, it definitely is. If you look, you can see the audio form is out of sync. So I can go and right click on this or click this little gear, go to advanced audio properties, and then I just adjust the sync by how many milliseconds, and you just gotta kind of move it over here and clap and see when you can get or snap or whatever, something that's visible that you can see, and then you just adjust your offset until you get it right, and you click close. Now if it's the other way around and your video is happening before your audio, you can go into video capture device, go to filters, and then you can go to your audio, audio video filters and video delay, and then you can just delay your video by a couple of seconds so it lines up with your audio. Admittedly, this takes some time to do, but it does not resolve the overlying issue, which is probably that your computer is struggling to maintain a signal from both OBS and Zoom. Chances are the struggles that it's having between OBS and Zoom are related to the fact that I'm guessing you're using a Mac. And yeah, It's just the machine is not powerful enough to really try to do what you're trying to do. More than likely, that is the problem. Let me answer this question from the super chat because it was first 1,000 hours. I did a guest live stream with Streamlabs OBS and Skype. My guest moved without me doing anything, of course, and the audio clipped on his end while he was talking. I was showing a muted video. Okay, so your guest is going to move without you doing anything because during a Skype call, if his bandwidth changes or your bandwidth changes, this window right here, not that window, let's get rid of this. His window is going to automatically resize itself. It's the fun of Skype. Woohoo! In order to solve that problem, when you size up your window the way you want it, so you crop it up and you make it exactly what you want it to look like, you can keep Skype from resizing it by right-clicking. You go to Transform, and then you go to, you're going to want to go to Edit Transform, and then you select Bounding Box Type, and you want to select Scale to Inner Bounds. Okay? And so that means that the box that you set up here is, yeah, it'll stay. It won't move. It'll stay exactly the way it is. No matter what the bandwidth is, it will not scale. So then Skype can't mess up your overlays. My guest moved without me doing anything, and that's what the problem is right there. You got to scale to inner bounds for your box, you'll be set. And the audio clipped on his end while he was talking. I was showing a muted video. I'm not sure about the muted video part, but if his audio was clipping while he was talking, you can always go in here and adjust the audio levels to fix that problem. Now, some people just have crappy audio. So if your guest has crappy audio, there's not much you can do about it. But if he was clipping, you can always go in here and just adjust it down so it's not peaking too much. And that also depends on what sort of audio source you were using. If you were using something like NDI or something like that, I was showing. So there you go. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's go back to the Monica question cam to see what else we've got.
Another question from DJ G. He says, because of the pandemic situation, he says, can you give us any suggestions for our DJs who are going live? And please come up with a configuration on Mac and PC.
Well, the biggest problem is I don't know much about DJ equipment. In other words, I don't know what you guys are using. I don't know how much CPU that stuff takes up, whether it's basically like a mixing board or anything. So I can't give you any specifics as to what you're going to want to use for PC or Mac, because I don't know anything about the hardware or software that you're using as a DJ. For something like that, I would really need to actually physically get the opportunity to test the equipment and see what it does and how it works before I could really go far enough as to say, well, this is what you should need, or this is the minimum Mac requirements. And it also is going to kind of depend on what sort of overlays you want to use and whether you're going to go crazy with that sort of stuff. I would tend to lean towards using a PC with an NVIDIA graphics card for any live streaming. But I could probably do this particular live stream just with this overlay on my Mac. The second I started to add other screens and switch around and do tutorials, it would be a freaking disaster. But I could do this screen at least. So it really kind of depends on all that sort of stuff. Let's go see what if Monica has anything else. Thanks for the advice. I'm recording with an AMD Ryzen, a processor NVIDIA RTX 2070 Super. Okay, so running Windows 10. Mic is connected to my Sony 6400. Okay, the camera is connected via Elgato. Camlink 4K. Recording is fine. It's just lagging with Zoom. Again, for all you do. Eric, I had a client. Oh, see you later. First 1,000. I do appreciate it. Thank you so much. Eric, I had a client that I was consulting with just this week who was having the exact same problem. The video would look okay in Zoom, but the audio and the voice just didn't match up. Are you using a virtual cam link, or are you using NDI source? Great topic for a video, how to live stream. I know I get so many DJ questions, Pauline. I wish I had the equipment to test, to be honest with you. Eric, do you use a, what was my question? I remember asking a question to Eric. Oh, what are you using, a virtual cam link, or are you using an NDI source? Because the one that I could not get to work properly was using a virtual cam link. And Nomad Unbroken, hello. I've never had problems, but I always use an NDI output. And if you don't, virtual cam. All right. So let me recommend that you give the NDI source a shot. I will, and you're using a PC. So let me grab the video for you. It will show you how to set up the NDI source. And I think you're going to be much happier with the audio quality too. Much, much happier, to be perfectly honest with you. How many more questions we got there, Pumpkin?
We have one more at least for now.
One more? All right, because I think we're going to call it a night after this question. We're going to call it a night after this question. So let's go to the Monica question can.
Last question for now is from Deshaun. He said, is there somewhat of a reasonably priced way to live stream on the road? Excuse me, like via a mobile Wi-Fi 4G LTE 5G hotspot or Wi-Fi GSM?
I actually love this question. I really do, because I spent the first year or so on this channel live streaming remotely every single day from every different location, anywhere I wanted to go. And you know what I used? I used my cell phone. Occasionally I'd use the Streamlabs app, but mostly I just live streamed through the YouTube app on my cell phone. I would point it this way. I would use an external microphone. I have it over there. I use a VidMic Rode Pro, and I had a lot of fun. I would live stream in front of waterfalls, on the side of the road, all kinds of other crazy locations and stuff. So I would definitely say that you could use your cell phone to do live streaming remotely anytime you want. Now, I will say this. I did spend the money to get an unlimited plan so I could do it, because I used to live stream every day at the same time for 1 hour. Just the location changed every single day. So you can definitely use your cell phone to live stream remotely. You don't need any kind of fancy setups with... I never even took my computer with me. And believe it or not, the Streamlabs app actually gives you the opportunity to even add widgets on your phone. So definitely check that out if you're interested. And I see, is that Dave Menninger stopped by? Good evening, Dave. Hello, my friend. It's awesome to see you. Awesome to see you. Definitely Pepsi. All right. So, do we have any other questions, Pumpkin?
We don't have questions. There are some comments that you might...
Well, let's let Monica tell us about the comments.
Okay. Well, we are going to read some comments. DJ G says, thanks so much for the NDI plugin. It's really worked well for his Zoom call, and he did testing, and it's really working well. Thanks so much. So that is awesome.
That is awesome.
And then Total Growth Investing said, yes, the virtual cam takes extra time for processing, creating the time desync. Now, I don't know if that was an answer to a previous question or if that was in response to somebody else. Okay. Then in that case, oh, thank you, Eric. Deshaun, he just said,
Yeah,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Ask Deshaun where he's coming from.
Deshaun, where he's coming from? Where he's
Yeah.
stationed?
Yeah.
Deshaun, where are you located. Because he said, what tests do you need me to conduct with DJ equipment? I have all the current tools and hardware. He can share it with you.
That would be incredible. I'd love to. That's why I asked where he's from. Maybe we can get together and do a video.
Oh. Are you want me to say that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Deshaun, Michael wants to know where you are, like as in where you live, because he said if you're close enough, maybe you guys can get together and work something out.
Phoenix.
I
love Phoenix. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Deshaun, can you message me on Twitter and let's see if we can figure something out? Because I'd really love to have the opportunity to have access to the equipment so I could do a test and a video and talk more about what can be used. Dolphin55 says, good evening. How can I download transition effects into my OBS? Thanks. Okay, let me give you a little bit of a tutorial, because honestly, you don't need to download anything. Okay, so the transition effect that I'm using right now is a stinger. I did a video on how to create this exact transition. I believe I did it on a live stream. Let me see if I can get you that video, and then I'll show you how to set them up. And this is going to be the last question for the night, guys, because I really have to pee. So, let's see. Chatbot streams, query stream, blah 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 blah. Overlays. I know I did this. I know I did it. I thought it was sooner than later, but apparently it was later than sooner. See what I did there? Transitions. Well, this one will help you out a little bit here. Let's see, get a share link. Here is a link to a video about transitions right there. And let me show you just real quick how to set these up. Well, I can't be looking at that. I gotta be looking at the one that's actually me happening. All right, so you can see my transition is set to all right now. So if I go between one scene and another, it does that nifty little thing. I can change this up by dropping this down. Cut is standard. Fade is also a standard. So you can see it fades in and out. Here's one of my other ones. This is kind of a fun one. There we go. That's fun. I built that one. But let's say I wanted to add something different. I can go slide. That's a fun one. I like slide. Boo. I just, which direction do you want to slide? Left, right, up, down. Let's go right. Why not? And we can preview it like that. See, there we go. And then all I have to do now is switch scenes and it slides. So it's that simple to add transitions. To add custom stingers and stuff, the video that I dropped in there was going to tell you how to do it, so that you can figure out how to do ones like this. Believe it or not, I actually did a video. I created this stinger that I'm using right now on a live video, and it should still be listed on my channel. So if you do a search for a live video, I think it's about 15 or 20 minutes long, and I do walk you exactly through how to create a stinger just like that one. So thank you, Deshaun. I do appreciate it. Everyone, holy mackerel. Let me switch to my main just in case. I want to thank everyone who donated to the stream. You guys are incredibly generous. Passing 10,000 subscribers today literally has been a 2-year journey, almost 3-year journey. Never give up. Never give up. If this is what you want to do and you love doing it, you will get to where you want to go. There's been so many people that have helped me to get to where I am, and I can't possibly thank them all. So for every single human being who took the time to say, I like what Mike's doing and I want to subscribe, thank you. It means the world to me. There are a million channels out there that can give you information. The fact that you decided I was the guy really means a lot. So thank you so much. Do me a big favor. It's a dangerous world out there. if you choose to, wear a mask, protect yourself, take care of your family, and you know, all that kind of stuff. We don't need that. We don't need more sick people. So I love you guys so much. Thank you for coming and hanging out with me tonight. It means the world to me. It really, really does. All of the folks. It's awesome. Let me throw it to Monica so she can say whatever she wants to say before we pop off. But thank you. Awesome. Everyone, do me a big favor. Be good to each other. You can't make the world a better place if you don't take it upon yourself to try to be better to your fellow man, whether you agree with them or not. 'Cause damn, seriously, this used to be a country. I know we live in crazy times, but it did used to be a country where I could have a different opinion than you, and it was okay. We could still get along. I hope we see that. I hope we see that happen in this country again.
Pauline says no audio.
No audio. No audio. What's up with that? You guys are not getting audio now? No? No audio? I don't know. Good night, Monica. Peace. We all love you guys. All right. Well, it looks like we're producing audio, but I don't know for sure. So thank you guys so much. I love you. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.